I've mentioned this before. With Karl-Anthony Towns returning very soon from injury, the calf injury that he suffered November 28th, I have like an itch on my nose right there. I'm not picking it. But we're hearing from Chris Hine of the Star-Tribune, the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. Hit that like and subscribe video button for more videos like this. But when Karl-Anthony Towns, if he does return this season, Chris Finch said that he and Towns are open to different avenues of what that return may look like. That could include Karl-Anthony Towns coming off the bench, especially if he is on a minute restriction when he starts playing again. Quote, "We feel Cat is able to help us regardless of what the situation is. If it's a minute restriction, maybe you're strategic and he comes off the bench to start with that. Depending what the minutes are, I think he would be open to anything at that point in time," end quote, Finch said. So I think that's something interesting because the current situation, the Timberwolves may be one of the most confusing teams this season because we don't know how good they are when fully healthy. On November 28th, the night when three-time All-Star Karl-Anthony Towns went down with a calf injury against the Washington Wizards, they fell to 10-11 and had yet to convince anyone that the Rudy Gobert Karl-Anthony Towns pairing in the front court was a good idea. Since then, Timberwolves have, swapped Russell for Mike Conley in their attempt to add maturity and moxie to their locker room. They've gone 24-22 without Towns. According to Chris Finch, Towns continues to progress in his recovery and is now doing 2-on-0 work with player development staff. There's no timetable for his return. However, this much we know. Anthony Edwards is averaging 24.7 points, 5.9 rebounds, 4.5 assists per game, and has looked like the perennial all-star that we hope he would become. Before the Karl-Anthony Towns injury, this team's offensive rating was 111.3, good for 17th in the NBA at the time. Their defensive rating was 15th at 111.9. Their net rating was 18th at minus 0.6. Since the Towns injury, they are at an offensive rating of 113.6, which is 22nd. So they've moved 5 spots worse. However, their defense has moved 5 spots forward and is now the 10th best at 113.5. And their defensive rating increased by 2 spots at 0.1 positive net rating for 16th best in the NBA. So it is an interesting situation to think about it. And is Karl-Anthony Towns going to be able to fit here, and how will he look on this roster? I am a Towns fan, so I'm a guy that I'm hoping that we're going to see Karl-Anthony Towns returns, but how will that look like? I don't know, and that's where I want to hear you guys' thoughts down below. I think look at what the Warriors did with Curry. That could be a good idea, or like good model to replicate, in my opinion. So it's going to be definitely interesting to see how it plays out, and I want to hear your guys' opinions. What do you think is the best way to bring back Karl-Anthony Towns? And again, I know it has been an interesting year for the Timberwolves, so only time will tell how this all plays out and what will be done. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. If there was anything else I might have missed that you guys would wanted to hear, I just think bringing back Karl-Anthony Towns would be huge for this squad, regardless of him coming off the bench or not.